Hi everyone. So today we'll be discussing on the topic linear sieve, right? So we have already discussed the sieve of Eratosthenes. Today we'll be discussing on the topic linear sieve algorithm. Yep, let's see what the definition part says here. Linear sieve is an algorithm to find all the prime numbers up to n in big of n time. Yeah, so that algorithm sieve of Eratosthenes main thing, it was big of log double log n, right? So big of double log n, right? N double log n, sorry. Yep. So that was for the sieve of Eratosthenes. So we are going with the linear sieve. So which is an algorithm to find all the prime numbers up to n in big of n time, n in big of n time, by ensuring every composite number is marked exactly once. By ensuring every composite number is marked exactly once. So how the algorithm works here? Let's see the same thing actually. So first what we'll do, similar to the sieve of Eratosthenes, we'll maintain the Boolean array to mark the prime or composite numbers, right? So there we used to mark this one, only the prime, so that we can consider the multiple of primes. Here, we will be maintaining the Boolean array to mark the prime or composite numbers. So this is one of the thing. Next, we will be maintaining an array to store the discovered prime numbers. First, we will this one, maintain the Boolean array to mark prime or the composite numbers. Then again, one more array just to discover this one, to store the discovered prime numbers, right? We will get the prime numbers, right? We'll mark the prime numbers. After that, we have to store that one somewhere, the prime numbers, distinguished prime numbers, we have to store that somewhere. For that, we'll be maintaining one more array. Yeah, that's what we will be doing. Next, we will be iterating the numbers from 2 to n. We'll be iterating the numbers from 2 to n. If a number is not marked, it is a prime. Store it. For every prime discovered so far, actually, we have to mark the current number that is not equivalent to prime as composite. Yeah, we'll mark current number that is not equivalent to prime as composite actually. If the current number is not prime, then we have to mark that one as composite, right? So yeah, if a number is not marked, it is prime, then we have to store it. For every prime discovered so far, so we'll mark the current number. If it is not equal to prime, then we'll be marking that one as composite. And then a composite number then will stop when product exceeds n, right? Product exceeds n, right? So n, we should be having up to something, right? Up to 10, up to 15. For the last example that we had considered, 10 actually, right? We'll stop when product exceeds n, or prime divides current number, right? Prime divides current number, nothing but key to the linear time. Let's articulate the same thing in the form of code, right? The exact same thing, whatever we discussed currently. So let's articulate the same thing in the form of code. Let's see how the algorithm works here, right? So now the first thing, so this we don't have to worry. It's related to the input output part, buffered input and the print writer. It's related to the input output part, right? So this is fine. Yep. Now, first for this, let's go with a n equals. Let me consider 20. Yeah. So we are finding. We have to find all the primes till 20. Just remember this. Yeah. So this is fine. Now, let's go with a is composite. Yeah, is composite. So we have to check whether the numbers are prime or composite, right? So I'll just go with is composite, which are not primes. We'll be marking that one as is composite, right? So I'll just go with the new Boolean of, let me go with the n plus 1 for the safer side actually. Yep. So this is fine. Now, let's go with the primes as well. Primes as well as the composite, both we have to go, right? So I'll just go with is primes, or let me go with the just primes actually. Yep. So I'll just go with int if it is prime. So I'll just go with the primes actually. New int of, let me pass the variable n. Let me pass the variable, or let me go with the n plus 1. Let me go with the n plus 1. So now, first let's count. We have to count the number of primes that we have found between the n, within the n, right? So for that, we have to store somewhere. For that, I'll just go with a prime count actually. Prime. So let me initialize this one to 0. Next, let's do one thing. Let's go with a for loop, right? So let's go with a for loop. So this one will be int I equals to I less than or equal to n. Let me go with I plus plus. Yeah. So within the for loop, the first thing within the for loop, the first thing, if I is not marked, then I is prime, and we have to store that accordingly with the algorithm. If I is not marked, see, this part. If a number is not marked, it is prime, and we have to store it accordingly with the algo that we have discussed. So if I is not marked, then I is prime, and then we have to store it. For that, let me write the simple if condition. If not of is composite. So let's pass the I here. If I is not marked, so in that case, I is prime, and we have to store it. So I'll just go with the primes of prime count. So let me increment the prime count. Yep. So this one, let me assign this one to the I. It's as simple as that. Yep. So now we are done with this part. Next, let's go with one more for loop. Yeah. So I'll just go with for in j equals 0, j less than prime count, this part, and let me increment the j. So now let's take the jth prime. So how can we take the jth prime? I'll consider variable p here. So let me assign this one to primes, this one, primes of j, actually primes of j. So this is fine. Next, we have to stop if it is out of range. So let me go with if I into p, if it is greater than n, if it is greater than n, what we have to do? We have to uh, exit from there completely. So I'll just make use of the break statement. Yep, break keyword that is provided by the Java. Yep. So now this is fine. Then we have to mark composite as well. Here, this one. For every prime discovered so far, if the current number is not prime, then we have to mark that one as composite. Yep. Let's do that in simple terms. Yeah, that itself we are for that itself we have written the if condition. We have to stop if out of range, then we have to mark the composite, right? So I'll just go with is composite of I into p. Let me assign this one to Boolean value. Yep, it's as simple as that. Finally, we have to ensure each composite is marked exactly once. For that, I'll just write it on this way. If I modulo p, if it is equal to 0, then let me go with a break statement. Let me go with a break statement. It's as simple as now, let's do one thing. Let's print something for the interactiveness, right? So I'll just go with C out. As we are making use of the this one, we are going with a print writer. We don't have to. I mean, yeah, will make use of the print, right? Out dot print rather than the system dot out dot print. This one, yeah. I'll just go with the out dot print. So let me give something within the strings. I'll just go with primes till this is fine plus n. This is also fine. Yep. So this is also fine. So I'll just yeah, this is fine. We are done with this part. Next, let me go with a for loop actually. Within the for, I'll just go with int I equals 0, I less than prime count, this part. Then let me increment the I. So within the for loop, first thing I'll just go with a out dot print. Yep. Let me go with a primes of I, primes of I plus I'll just go with a space here, right? So we are printing in the same line. We are printing on the same line. Sorry, we're printing on the same line. So yeah, we don't have to consider ln here. So this is fine. Yep. So we are done with this part. Almost we are left with only one thing, nothing. But next we have to move to the next line. So I'll just go with out.println. We don't have to pass anything here. And as we are making use of the print writer, I'll just make use of the flush here. Yep, out.flush, or you can just make use of the close as well. Close keyword. You can just go with the close or flush. Both works actually. Yep. So this is fine. Now we are done with this part. Yeah, we are done with this part actually. Let's check whether we have any typo or any errors so that we can debug now itself. No, right? We do not have any. Yeah, now this is fine. Before running the code, actually, let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. Let's dry run the code so that we get to know whether whatever the code that we have written works absolutely correct or not. It is correct or not. Then we get to know about the output for the example that we have considered within the code. So these two things we get to know. Right before running the code, let's dry run accordingly with the example that we have considered. And then later we can come back here and we can just run the code. Yep, let's do that. So yeah, let's try run the code step by step. Yep. So we will be considering the same example that we have considered within the this one code actually. N we will be going with a 20. Sorry. Yeah, we have considered n equals 20, right? Let's try run for the same, right? So first, when I equivalent to this one 2, when I is equivalent to 2, so this is not marked, right? So this is not marked actually. Yep. So this is not marked, right? So this is prime and we will store 2. We will store 2 first thing. Yeah. So 0 and 1 is not prime. We know we'll be starting with the 2 itself, right? So this is fine. So then what we'll do, we'll mark 2 into 2. So then we will mark 2 into 2, nothing but 4 actually. Yeah. Then we'll mark this one. Yep. So this is fine. This is for the I equals to 2. Then when I equals to 3, so this is initially not marked, right? So this is initially not marked, and so this becomes prime. As it is not marked, this becomes prime actually. Yeah, this becomes prime, and we will be storing 3 actually. We'll be storing 3. So this is fine. Next, what we'll do, we'll mark here. Mm, we'll mark. What will mark? We'll mark 3 into 2, right? So 3 into 2, nothing but 6. We'll mark this part, and we will mark 9 as well. Yeah, 3 into 3, 9. So we'll be marking 3 into 6, 3 into 2, 6, and 3 into 3, 9. So when I equals 3. So these two are done. Next, we will be considering when I equals 4 actually. When I equals 4, right? So when I equals 4, this is already marked. See here, 2 into 2 equals 4. We have already marked this one. So I'll just go with already marked actually. Yeah, let me go with already marked. So this is fine. So now already marked. So this would be prime. This would be prime. Yep. So this is fine. Finally, what we'll do, we'll store 3, right? So just give me a second. I'm getting a call. So yeah, what we'll do, 4 is already marked actually. We have marked this one as prime. Yeah. So I mean, we have to skip the prime add. We have to skip. This is not the prime actually. We'll skip prime add actually. We have already marked this one, right? So this belongs to the composite actually. Yep. So this is fine. Now what we'll do, we'll mark 4 into 2. 4 into 2 is nothing but 8. So we'll mark this part. Yep. So now let's move on with the I equals 5. When I equals 5, so this is prime actually. What we'll do again, we will store 5. We will store 5. So this is fine. Now what we'll do, we'll mark two things. One is mark 5 into 2 actually. That leads to 10. This one we will mark. And another one is nothing but 5 into 3, nothing but 15. This one also we will mark these two things. Yep. So this is fine. Now this continues actually. So everything that I can't show you until this one n equals 20, right? So this continues similarly. So each composite is marked once only. Each composite is marked exactly once. Yep. So primes collected will be in the increasing order. Primes collected will be in the increasing order, right? So so you have the idea now, right? So I have shown you this one, how it works actually. So overall output at the end that we get is 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, as well as the 19 actually. So this is the output that we need to get at the end actually. Yep, accordingly with the dry run. So this is it for the dry run. This is it for the dry run. So let's do one thing. We are done with the dry run part actually. We know what is the output that we need to get. Yeah. And if accordingly with the code that we have dry run actually, if everything goes well, we have to get the desired output. Let's do one thing. Let's run the code that we have written. Yep. Let's run the code that we have written. So I'll just come here. Let me run the, let me run this file actually. Let's wait for some time. Yeah, you can clearly see here prime still 20, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19. You can just check all these numbers which are present here are the prime numbers within 20, right? Within 20. Yep. So this is fine. This is the output that we need to get, and we have got the desired output as well. Yep. So yep, we have discussed the algorithm. We are done with almost everything. So we are left with only one thing, nothing but discussing the complexities accordingly with the code that we have written. Let's do that. So now let's do one thing. Let's consider let's discuss the complexities part. Yeah. So now the time complexity would lead to big O of n. You would have already guessed the time complexity would lead to big O of n, because see, each composite number is generated and marked exactly once. This we have already discussed. So each composite number is generated and marked exactly once using its smallest prime factor, right? Accordingly with the dry run. We saw that one during the dry run, right? So this is fine. So what would be the space complexity here? Space complexity would lead to big O of n. Space complexity would lead to big O of n as well, because we are making use of the Boolean composite array and the prime storage array up to n, right? So overall space complexity would lead to big O of n. The time complexity and the space complexity for the code that we have written would lead to big O of n and big O of n respectively. Now we are done with this particular algorithm, right? So we are done with the linear sieve, right? So next what we will be doing, we will be discussing on the topic, this one, what do you call? Mm, what shall we discuss next? Prime factorization. Yeah, let's move on with the prime factorization. Yep, for now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.